What's going on, my YouTube friends? Guys, we got another problem with the Mustang. Remember, I put fluid and everything in the trans, and I was testing everything out because I wanted to drop it off the jack stands. And we found that the rear end was bad. So I found out that I had a little radiator leak, so I was correcting that. When I opened up the cap, look what I found. Yep, poop. It's full of that, so I'm guessing that the radiator, the transmission, the inner transmission cooler, I'm guessing that it's leaking, so the transmission fluid's going in there. Because everything else I checked, the oil's still full, everything's looking good. I am low on transmission fluid, so I'm guessing the internal cooler in the radiator is bad, because I mean, I ain't getting the oil and everything's clean, you know. So I'm gonna pull the radiator out. I'm just gonna get another radiator. I needed one anyhow, so get in there. Look I can't even screw an oil cap. Oh well, I'll get it later. There we go. So anyhow, that's what we got going on today with the 92 Mustang. So yeah, if it ain't one thing, it's another. But so I'm pulling the antifreeze out of it right now. And you can see, actually the antifreeze is clean. So I'm guessing everything is going around that cooler, the internal cooler for the transmission inside the radiator. So anyhow, I'm gonna get this thing pulled out and I'll bring you back. Well, I got the radiator and everything out of it right now. Man, what a mess. But anyhow, yeah, you can see down there, nasty. But anyhow, look down in there, man. It's all got that all down in here and everything like that. And like I said, I don't believe it's a head gasket or anything like that. I think it's coming from the transmission, because this didn't happen. So I started putting it in gear and filling up the trans and making sure everything was working before I found out the rear end was bad. So I'm going to go ahead and pull everything out. I'm going to flush the whole system and make sure I get all this gunk out of here. And then I'm going to get a new radiator. But actually, I'm going to flush that radiator out and I'm going to have it checked to make sure that's what the problem is. But I'm pretty sure that's what it is. So, all right, let me get this thing off here and I'll bring it back, because we all know that this bolt right here is a pain in the butt. So I'll bring it back. I'm just going to show you guys what I'm doing to get this bolt out right here, because it's the hardest one to get out. So what I did, I just took the distributor and I marked it on a water pump right here, and I just moved it over, and I got me a wrench that's, you know, bench shaped like that, and just stick it down there and loosen it up. That's all you got to do. Best to do with a 12 point, makes it a lot easier. So I just figured I'd show you what I do to get this bolt out, because I'm going to tell you something. That bolt is a pain in the butt. All right, guys, I'll bring you back once I get this off. So we got that off. You know, and this bolt right here, the bottom bolt, it's shorter than the top one. So when you get it out so far, you can get it with your fingers and pull it out the rest of the way. Yeah, buddy. So somebody's Permatex this together real good. So we'll have to clean all that. But all that gook and everything on the inside. And I didn't trust the thermostat, so I wasn't going to put it back together with the thermostat. So, you know, try to flush it out in the thermostat to be all catching all that junk. So we'll get all this gasket off here and get everything cleaned up. And then, but before I do all that, I'm going to flush this system out. So basically, I'm going to do it non-running. I'm just going to run water through it until it comes back out clean. That's basically what I'm doing. A lot of people say use still water or this and that. Look, I've been using the hose water for 30 some odd years, so I ain't changing now. All right, guys, let me get this straightened up and I'll bring you right back. Just carry a couple of these around, you know, because people always need them, because when they torque them down, they tighten them, they always end up cracking them or something like that, because they tighten on one side tighter than the other, or before they tighten down the other instead of, you know, doing it evenly. Excuse me. So this is the one that came off the car, and I had an extra one here that's already nice and cleaned up and ready to go. So I'll clean this one up when I do some sandblasting. I'll clean this up another day. All right, let me bring it. I got most of the mud out of it. Everything's coming out clear now. So basically is what I got to do. I got to get the other radiator. I need to get a new thermostat, and so I'll put everything back together. So there's going to be a part 2 to this, guys. Because I got a mess to clean up. Oh, yeah, I got a big mess to clean up. But I did catch most of the antifreeze and everything first, so we're good. So we're not polluting nothing. But that was some pretty nasty water. And this is the first thing before I put it in the 10-gallon bucket. This was the first. This is the second. So it's much more cleaner than what it was. Because man, it was bad. It was really bad. So anyhow, I'll see you as soon as I take a shower and I'll come back. All right. So what I did me a little test here. I know I wasn't going to come back till I take a shower, but I figured you guys needed to smell me a little more. But anyhow, so I wanted to test this tank on the inside here for the transmission. It's the internal cooler for the transmission and the radiator. So in order to do that, I had me a piece of transmission line, and I cut it, and I flattened out this piece right here to seal that off. And then I had this line right here, which I cut a little long because you never know when you might need to use it. Same with that. So inside here, internally, they have a, I can find my little light here. We have a tube inside there. You see that tube in there? Well, that tube is your cooler, your trans cooler. So when I put air to this, to the lines, I can hear air coming out of here. So that tells me there is a trans leak in here. So let me show you what else I got here. You guys would just love this. Yeah, buddy. So as I did, I got my little air nozzle here, and I cut me off a piece of rubber, slid it on there, so that way I can make this airtight. Okay, so let me get this. I gotta hang on to it there. Let me get this switch around here. And you can hear a little air coming out of this, out of the line here, but let's check this out right here. Get it in there nice and tight. You hear that? That's coming from the inside there. Trying to get it by the little microphone in there. So I do hear air coming out of there. I'm not sure how good you can hear it because there's still air leaking out at this end. So, all right, let me bring you back. All right, so I quieted this down a little bit more. You know, you see what I got here. We can see what we can do. I know I should be in a shower, right? So let's go. So I'm not sure if you guys are hearing this, but I can hear the air come out of there a lot better. Yeah, I know. Crappy videoing. But anyhow, it's there. So inside that crate, sorry for the noise. I'll bring you back after I get out of the shower. I figured I'd finish this up before I jumped in the shower. Guys, I'm going to tell you something, man. What a bloody mess. What a bloody mess. But you know what? I got air coming out of the inside of that thing. I got everything pretty much sealed up really good so I can stick my ear up there and hear it. So I'm not sure if you heard it in the video or not, but it's definitely leaking on the inside of that. So I'm just going to buy a new radiator and hope that I'm right. Hope I'm not hearing things. Hope I'm hearing the air. Just the way things roll around here sometimes, you know what I mean? Out riding a bike with their family, ain't that? It's just wonderful. My family went to a birthday party, left me home. I didn't want to go. So anyhow, I was busy working on the car. You know, I had to get some more stuff for the interior, so that's why I started jumping around a little bit on the car. And once I, found out that the rear end was bad, I'm still debating if I want to rebuild that rear end or just get another rear end out of another car and have it rebuilt and then put it back in the car. I'm not sure what I'm going to do yet. But I am going to check into it further. But I had a little radiator leak from, because the car's been running and stuff like that. So it was able to build up, good pressure and everything like that. The car never got hot. It ran good. But I noticed a little leak in the front in the bottom radiator hose. So is what I did. I checked the hose. Everything seemed to be okay. So I changed the clamp on it. So when I went to open up the cap, that's when I seen the mud. I'm like, oh, great. If it ain't one thing, it's another, you know. Take 3 steps forward, 8 back. So anyhow, oh yeah, I could probably clean my glasses, see a little bit better. Excuse me, just took a big drink. But yeah, so I'm just trying to get this thing, man, and get it mechanically and, you know, and make it so everything's good. So when I do start driving it at all, it'll be ready to go, you know. The interior, you know, I got most of the stuff. I bought some more stuff today that I'm waiting to come in. And so it'll probably be in like Friday or something. And then I got the brackets for the seats and the back seats. It's, you know, the hinge and everything to bolt them down good, you know. So I don't have any of that stuff. So I found it on eBay, but I thought it was kind of expensive. So I'm kind of shopping around a little bit and trying to find out, you know, something cheap enough that I won't feel so bad buying. Just one thing or another, you know. But yeah, I just figured I'd let you know what's going on, let you know about that radiator and my little test theory. I checked it out. I used to do radiators, and I had another thing that was similar to that, but you hook both lines to it, and then you hook the air up in the middle of it. But I don't have that stuff anymore, so I just concocted that up, and it seemed to work. It seemed to work. So hopefully we're right. I needed to replace that radiator anyhow. I was just too cheap to do it to begin with. And I called National Parts Depot because I figured, shoot, I'd get a radiator today, you know. Man, they wanted almost $200 for that radiator, and I can buy it everywhere else for 95 bucks. I'm like, yeah, I think I can wait. You know, so in Advanced Auto, they got the radiator there, and I got a 25% discount. So I just ordered it from them, and, you know, it only cost me $68 plus tax, free delivery. You know what I mean? I'm trying to, you know, I really don't have a budget set for this car, but I'm trying to stay, you know, in a good area. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to spend $200 or $300 for something that I can buy, you know, maybe for 70 or 80 bucks. You know what I'm saying? So it's not that I'm trying to build this thing cheap. I'm just trying to have it all together so I can drive it, play with it, and start working on the Fairmont. Because I haven't gone cheap on that Fairmont. I've got a lot of money in that car, and it's just been sitting for the last 5 years. I've done a little here and there and bought a little here and there, but I still got a lot of money in that car. I paid a lot of money for that car to begin with because the car would come from Arizona. It was solid. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I spent as much as I did on it. And it was a running driving car. You know, it was just a 6-cylinder. And it needed a flywheel. So actually is what I should have done. I should have just changed the flywheel on that car and drove it until I had all the parts and everything I wanted to do to it, and then did the build. But no, not me, you know. Hey, I don't know, there's something wrong with me up here. My wife says, you just can't have just one project, can you? Well, I guess not. All right, guys. Hey, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for watching. You guys are awesome, man. I appreciate each and every one of you. And guess what? It's time for me to put this together, throw it on, let you guys watch it, and I'm going to take me a shower. Yeah, I know, I'm pretty ugly anyhow. Ain't no soap and water going to help me, but sure make me smell a little bit better, huh?